Good evening, children. Let us start the next lesson, coal and petroleum. In this chapter, I am going to cover the following topics: the natural resources, exhaustible and inexhaustible, fossil fuels like coal, coke, coal tar, etc., petroleum, natural gas. So let us first to know what are the natural resources. Now, natural resources. As you know, the material we get from nature to fulfill our basic needs, such materials are called natural resources. For example, air, water, sunlight, minerals, etc. So, all those natural resources or the materials which we are getting from the nature naturally are known as natural resources. Now, natural resources are of two types: inexhaustible natural resource. Inexhaustible. Literal meaning of exhaustible means which finishes. Exhaust एक टाइम के बाद जो खत्म हो जाता है. So the resources which are present in unlimited quantity in nature and will not get exhausted in near future by human activities are called inexhaustible natural resources. मतलब जिन्हें हम ऐसे resources जो लंबे समय तक यूज़ करने के बाद भी नेचर में एग्जॉस्ट नहीं होते, ऐसे सोर्सेस को हम बोलते हैं inexhaustible natural resources. So give some example of inexhaustible resources like air, water, sunlight. These resources are never exhaust in future. Sunlight, air. Now, exhaustible natural resources. So, exhaustible resources which are present in limited quantity in nature and will get exhausted in near future by human activities are called exhaustible natural resources. For example, forest, wildlife, minerals, coals, petroleum, natural gas, etc. In one instant, you may feel that forest, they are plenty number of forest, plenty number of coal, petroleum and natural gas. But since these resources, they take a million of years to be formed. That is why if we use continuously, then in limited, after some time they may be exhaust, they may be finished in the near future by due to the human activities. So such resources are called exhaustible natural resources. Now, fossil fuels. Fossil. What are the fossil? Fossil means the remain of dead plants and animals buried under the soil million of years ago are known as fossils. Fossil fuels. So the fuels which are obtained by the fossils are known as the fossil fuels. For example, coal, petroleum, natural gas. Now, what is coal? Coal is a black stone like hard material found under the soil. Quality of the soil is determined by the percentage of carbon in it. So coal, कोयला जिसको हम बोलते हैं, बहुत हार्ड सब्सटेंस जो है, that is found under the soil, that is known as the coal. Coal are also of different types and their quality is determined by the presence of the percentage of the carbon. So for example, peat 30% of carbon, lignite 60 to 75% of carbon, bituminous 75 to 80%, in anthracite above 90%. Now, formation of coal. How the coal is formed? About 300 million years ago, the dense forests got buried under the soil due to natural process like flood. So due to naturally when flood comes, many trees or many forests they got buried under the soil due to the earthquake or due to the natural calamities. When the forest got buried under the soil, and for millions of years they are remain buried, then deposition of many layers of soil compressed and sank them deeper and deeper under the high pressure and temperature. What? Under high pressure and temperature, plants were converted into coal, and this process is known as carbonization. So, carbonization is a process in which, under high pressure and temperature, plants buried under the soil converts into the coal. Now you know that when coal is burned in air, it produces mainly carbon dioxide. So whenever coal is burnt in air, it produces mainly the gas carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is not useful for us. It is harmful for the human beings. Now, destructive distillation of the coal. That is, if we heat the coal in absence of air, it is known as the destructive distillation of the coal. This is a process in which, in this tube, the powdered coal is taken. It is heated. There is no air inside the tube, so the coal is burning or heating in absence of air. Then some gas is coming out from this, which is known as the coal gas, and the water. This dissolves the ammonia to form the ammonia liquor. So the gases, ammonia gas is dissolved in water, and the other gas, which is known as the coal gas, is used. So the coal gas can be obtained by the destructive distillation of the coal. Now, product of the destructive distillation of the coal. The first is the coke. This is tough, porous and black substance. It is pure form of carbon. It is used as a reducing agent in the extraction of metal and manufacture of steel. So the first product is the coke. The second product we can say coal tar. It is black, thick liquid and a mixture of about 200 substances. Products obtained from coal tar are used to prepare synthetic dyes, paints, perfumes, plastics, etc. So it is also a product of destructive distillation of the coal. Itself, coal is a mixture of 200 substances. When we separate out these substances, they can be used to prepare synthetic dyes, paints, perfumes, plastics, etc. Now, bitumen. Bitumen is also a petroleum product. Instead of the coal tar, is used nowadays for metaling the road. आप लोगों ने देखा होगा पहले सड़कों पर रोड्स को बनाने के लिए कोल तार, एक ब्लैक कलर का डार्क मटेरियल यूज़ किया जाता था. बट नाउ डेज इंस्टेड ऑफ द कोल तार, bitumen, which is a petroleum product, it is used for metaling the road. The next product is the coal gas. It is a mixture of hydrogen, methane and carbon monoxide, and it is used as fuel in many industries. Now, petroleum. Petroleum is thick black brown liquid trapped between the impervious rocks in the earth crust. So just look at the figure. This is the occurrence of the petroleum. Petroleum occurs between the impervious rocks in the earth. These are the two types, different types of rocks. In between, the dark black brown liquid is trapped, which is known as the petroleum. And petroleum is taken out by using the drilling rigs. From the rigs, you must have heard the name of the rig. So by the drilling rig, petroleum is taken out. During this, some natural gas also comes out. So let us see or study about the petroleum. So what is petroleum? Petroleum, how the petroleum is formed? Petroleum was formed million years ago when organisms living in sea died and settled at bottom and got covered by layers of sand and clay. In absence of air, under high pressure and temperature transformed it to the petroleum and natural gas. So the petroleum and the coal both are formed in the same manner, but the difference is the petroleum is formed by burying the sea, by the when the organisms living in the sea died and settled at the bottom, and coal is formed when the forest is buried under the soil. So when these covered sand and clay and in the absence of air and high pressure and temperature transformed the sea animals buried under the sand into the petroleum and natural gas. Now, the chemical nature of petroleum. Petroleum is a dark, oily, viscous mixture of hydrocarbons such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricant oil, paraffin, wax, etc. These hydrocarbons are separated as fraction by a process called refining of petrol. Now, what is refining of petrol? Refining of petroleum means the process of separating the various constituents or fractions of petroleum is known as the petroleum refining. Since petroleum is a mixture of many substances, so these different substances can be separated out by the process known as the refining of petroleum. Now this is the diagram in which is showing the fractional distillation of the petroleum. So when petroleum is heated at different temperatures, the different substances, now carbon containing 15 carbon to this, they are separated at this level. You can see that different components which contain C1 to C4. So hydrocarbons, different types of it is a mixture of different types of hydrocarbons जिसमें कि कार्बन कंपाउंड का नंबर अलग अलग है. So according to that they have been separated at the different levels. So this is the process in which the different parts of the petroleum is separated. Fraction distillation, because in the fraction at separate they are separated in fractions. So that is known as the fractional distillation. Now these are the various constituents of the petroleum. Now petroleum coal in liquid form, that is the LPG, which is used in home for the and industry, which you use in the kitchen. Petrol, which is used as a fuel in the vehicles. Kerosene, which is used in stoves, lamps and for jet aircraft also. Diesel, used in heavy motor vehicles. Lubricating oil, that is lubrication. Paraffin wax, which is used in ointments, candle, Vaseline, etc. Bitumen plants and for road surfacing. So these are the different parts of the petroleum and these different uses. Now natural gas. Natural gas is found along with the deposit of the coal and petroleum. The main constituent is methane gas. The deposits of natural gas is found in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Krishna Godavari delta. So natural gas जो आप लोगों ने सुना होगा ONGC, Oil Natural Gas Commission. ONGCs mainly do the work for drilling the petroleum and the natural gas underground. So deposit of natural gas is usually found in Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Tripura and Krishna Godavari deltas. Now uses of natural gas, that is it is used when it is stored under high pressure, compressed natural, C for compressed and for natural, G for gas. So compressed natural gas is used as a fuel in the many vehicles. It is used as automobile fuel since it is a clean fuel. Natural gas is used in manufacturing of the fertilizers. Now some natural resources are limited. Now as we know that fossil fuels is limited, therefore we should use these fuels only when necessary. In India, PCRA, Petroleum Conservation Research Association, PCRA, PCRA, Petroleum Conservation Research Association, advises people the following tips to save the petrol while driving. Drive at a constant speed. Drive at a constant speed and moderate speed. Switch off the engines at traffic lights. Ensure correct tire pressure. Ensure regular maintenance service of the vehicle. So these are the advices issued by the PCRA. And at every home, in your home also, your parents drive the vehicles, drive the scooters, drive the car. So you should guide them that they should drive at constant speed and moderate speed. Means fast driving is not safe for the life, as well as it consumes more petrol. And during the traffic lights, we should switch off the engines. The tire pressure you must have seen in the petrol pump, at the petrol pumps, to measure the tire pressure, the air pressure inside the tire. So that is the correct pressure also reduces the consumption of petrol. And the regular maintenance of the vehicles is also helpful in reducing the use of petrol. So it is our duty to guide the people to follow the tips to save the petrol while driving. Thank you all.